This plan, from its conception, as soon as I heard about it back in 2017, we started planning then. I think we didn't realize exactly how complicated this exactly was.
My initial reaction was, this is crazy. This is a bridge, which is a normal pedestrian bridge, except it has been warped into multiple dimensions.
Initially, when we get a set of plans from the architect, in this case Studio One, they basically give us the 3D coordinates.
VDC can scan 1 million points in one separate scan. And they were able to load the crane in, load the bridge in from real-time scans with an accuracy of about 1/2 inch.
So this was actually built and fabricated fully in Memphis, Tennessee by our subcontractor Crystal Steel.
So from Memphis to Virginia, it's about a 2-day trip.
They had to have police escorts all the way up from Memphis, Tennessee. They're called superloads. So they had to come in at certain times. We received them in the park where we had cranes waiting, and we would load them into a park. They would hold them and assemble this. That took almost a month.
So the biggest challenge for this bridge was the shape of it.
When you deal with pieces that are that large, you have to move slow, you have to move carefully.
So this was something where we had a plan where every 30 minutes there was something going on. We had it fully written out in a long narrative. We reviewed that in person with each party, probably 4 or 5 times in person. That way everybody knew their role. It's a pretty out-of-the-box structure here. We've got multiple large tube steel members that are going to have that industrial look at the end of the day, but it ultimately ranges from 15 to 21 feet tall, and it'll have an intricate zinc roof, glass curtain wall on the exterior, and then a nice polished concrete floor on the interior. So all that planning really, at the end of the day, just had everybody on the ball, ready to do their part at the correct time.
It's important that it becomes a collaborative effort on something this large. So once we had it assembled in the park, we set up for a twin crane pick with our safety division and engineering division, and picked it up with the bridge with 2 cranes and set it on the back of the Goldhofer and reoriented it. It took 2 separate cranes in the park picking it up at the same time. Once the bridge began to take shape, we began to really look at what are the actual engineering challenges we're facing here, because none of us had ever seen a bridge that articulated this much and was so top heavy, or seemed to be so top heavy. Made out of tubular steel on the top, and we had straight wide flange beams on the bottom.
Because the load on top of the Goldhofers, the bridge is such an odd shape that if the weight got distributed too much to one side or the other, we didn't want a possibility of the thing tipping. The Williams Steel professional that was driving that rig did a great job. But the primary safety concern for Clark is always the safety of our workers and the safety of the pedestrians around our projects. But putting this crane plan together, VDC was a major part of that. If they weren't involved and didn't do their 3D laser scan of both Wilson Boulevard and Quincy, it wouldn't have happened as smoothly as it did. How this operation unfolded and everything, it went beautifully. This is just going to help us plan for similar operations even better in the future. Couldn't have been easier working with Arlington County and the police department.
The reality was that we had a lot of fun building this structure. It was a lot of difficulty, a lot of challenges we faced, and that's why we enjoy these types of projects.
I was a kid that played with Legos as a child, and I get to tell people that I get to do real-world Legos for my job. We build stuff out of pieces, and it's a lot of engineering and a lot of science and a lot of communication and a lot of hard work that goes into planning for something like this. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go home today and I can just say I did something really cool today. I got to do something that's beneficial to the community. That just gives you a good feeling, and I'm proud of our guys. We have a lot of guys that work really hard, and I'm really thankful for the work that they put in to make this successful.